So like here, we need to finish the rest of the reading. So like we go to page 242. So this was the part we stopped at last time. So here, could you please read it together? Some people believe that. Sorry, could you please start from the beginning? Some people believe that. Responsible for the extinction of certain animals. Which this word is oblige. Yeah, thank you. To move on, which obliges us? The situation. Wait, this word, the stress is on environmentalist, on the syllable. Please read once again, environmentalist. Environmentalist. Your brain once said, humans have made a huge toll in nature. We have the ability now to repair some of that damage. Yeah, thank you. And this one, this is your brain. And as I told you last time, like he is a social movement advocate. Advocate. We say the word advocate. How to spell the word advocate? A-D and then V. Yeah, advocate. 它是一个社会运动的推动者。So if you say someone who promotes and try to encourages people's awareness of an issue, right, we call that kind of person an advocate. So here this word, A-D-V-O-C-A-T-E, advocate on the first syllable. So here could you please read it together, advocate. Yeah, for the word advocate, it could be a verb or it could be a noun. So if you say, for example, you might say environmentalists like 刘克襄 or some other, or like 小野, 吴念真, they advocate the preservation of wildlife. They try to encourage people to pay more attention to something. You know what I mean? So when you say people try to advocate something, they try to promote the awareness of that issue. But here, if you say, if you say someone who is an advocate, the person is someone who does that all the time. So it could be a verb or it could be a noun. It's okay? Yeah, you know what I mean? So here, please read the words together. Advocate. Yeah, thank you. So like he is an advocate of wildlife preservation in the States. Yeah, so like here, like last time, we talked about some important points. And these were the things we covered last time, remember? So here for the word oblige, it means you give someone the responsibility and the person cannot refuse that. So like here, if you say the noun form of the word oblige, do you remember the form? May I ask you? Or here, Vicky, may I ask you the noun form of the word oblige? If you oblige somebody to do something, then the thing would become the what? Obligation. Remember, obligation is the noun form. Obligation is the noun form of the word obligate. So if you say oblige. So if you say you oblige somebody to do something, then yeah, it means like, is there any reason why? Like, did you start this like earlier today, or like you just started to do this right now? What? For the whole day? Really? Okay, yeah. So like here, like is there any reason why you needed to do this? No. So like here, if it's okay, can you like return to your original seats from tomorrow? Is okay? Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah. So like here, Julie, like did she start to like put her stuff all over to your desk? Like from this morning? No. Really? So, like,
心里很轻薄哎。
What? Did she say 她很幸福? Like here, if you say it's one's obligation to do something, the person cannot refuse it. It's okay, yeah. And here for the next part, humans have made a huge toll in nature. So, what? So if you say it's one's obligation to do something, it's the person's responsibility to do that. It's okay? Yeah. And here for the next part, if you say humans have made a huge hole in nature, may I ask you what could be the meaning of that expression to say humans have made a huge hole? That was just pretty easy, but hey, Stella, what would be the Chinese meaning? All right. No, I noticed that, but I sort of couldn't figure out who that person really is. That sits over there. So like, is she okay?
真的很糟哎。
我跟他从下学期开始啊，早上没来的时候要先传个讯息给我吧。 加油，要请假让我知道。
你每个早上都可以跟我们来说个嗨。
哦 ，really？ 要不这个？我刚听到 fish 要转组，害我心神不宁。转组本来就是人生规划的一部分。对啊，但是我真的觉得就是一定要在下学期的时候，一定要让自己的规划要再清楚一点。It's not the only thing we care about. Yeah, anyway. I mean, for me, like everybody has to take care of her goal in life. And we all respect your decision no matter what kind of goal you have in your mind. But the thing is, we need to respect everybody's decisions, and we need to leave the person some room and some time to think the whole thing through, so that she wouldn't feel any pressure from anybody, because in the end, it is you that has to face the decision you make in your life. So this is very important. But anyway, we still want you to be here, you know. She didn't listen to me. Forget it, yeah. Anyway. What? What did she say? Yeah, I know. Anyway, like, for each one of you, anyway, I guess each one of you love your classmate as the person she is. It's not about like how good you are, no matter in sports or in your study, but we just like you as the way you are. But still, like, we wish you the best of luck, what kind of decision you might make in the future. So like, anyway, so like, I hope that after today, you wouldn't ask further about her decision or anybody's decision, because now it's still kind of far away. But I would say, like, it's good for you to start thinking about what kind of decision you might make in the future. But like, after you know somebody's decision or possible decision, we're going to need to respect her to make the decision, yeah, because she needs to face her own future by herself. It's okay. So like, you can care what kind of decision she might make, but you need to leave the person some room or time for her to make the decision of her life. Yeah, easy. So like here, 4 have made a huge trouble. 但是还是一样。请假啊，就是这学期开始的时候，就是当然这学期比较不会有这个问题。下学期的时候会再请大家，请假的时候要让我知道一下怎么样，so that I can know what kind of situation you have. Maybe you get sick. Maybe you need to do something with your family, so you couldn't come to school. Yeah. Anyway, so like here, when you talk about have made a huge hole, you mean this. But then if you mean this word here, a word that begins with a D, damage. It's okay, so have caused damage to nature. Damage. Yeah. But here, if you mean the damage is pretty serious, then a word that begins with the letter T. 很巨大的影响 enormous, but another word with the letter beginning with the letter D, tremendous. So you either have caused tremendous damage, have caused serious damage, have caused enormous damage. So tremendous is another word for enormous. It's okay, yeah. So here you please read the words together, tremendous. Yeah, thank you. So like here, here, the next part. Could you please read it together however others consider it? Inappropriate to bring species back, since this weakens the support for traditional conservation. Why do we have to preserve wildlife habitat or life cultures? If we know, we can just reverse our mistakes. Yeah, so here, when you say consider something blah 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 to blah blah blah, this would be one of the key sentence patterns. 这地方觉得某事情怎么样，除了 consider 以外，和另外两个，一个是 find， 另外一个是觉得怎样。 think。那以前的句型还是一样，是 think of something as blah blah blah. For example, you might say we all think of it as important to preserve the wildlife in the mountainous areas. 在山区的野生动物需要被保护，所以这地方以前是 think of something as blah blah blah， 现在只留下一个 think 当受词 ，think something blah 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 to blah blah blah。那这个地方的 inappropriate， 另外一个字 unsuitable or another word that begins with the I。inappropriate, unsuitable， 还有一个 I 开头的字 improper。 Remember how to spell the word improper? I-M-P-R-O-P-R, improper. So if it is something that is improper, you mean it is not the right thing to do. So like here, improper, inappropriate, unsuitable, they are words with similar meanings. It's okay. So here, could you please read over together? Improper. Inappropriate. Unsuitable. Yeah, thank you. So like here for the next sentence, since this weakens the support for traditional conservation. So when you say something weakens the support of another thing, weak. When you say something gets weak, 变得比较弱 ，weaken 这个地方变成是动词，使某事情的效果减弱。But here another word that begins with the I. What could be the word? When you say you try to weaken something, you mean the power of something becomes less in extent. 所以这地方 less 的动词 lesson 不是那个 the lesson 1 lesson 2 no， 这个地方的 lesson 是 lesson that means the lesson of in your book. But if you say lesson you mean make the power of something less in extent 程度上减弱。So here you can also say other people think it unsuitable to bring species back, means to revive the species because this lessens the support for traditional conservation. Why do we have to preserve a wildlife habitat or fight poachers? If we know, we can just reverse our mistakes. This is like, if you know that you can have a second chance to bring something disappeared a long time ago back to Earth, then why do we have to make every effort to preserve the life of wild animals now? So this would be other people's argument for this kind of scientific development, that if we can bring animals which disappeared a long time ago back to life, then why do we have to work hard to protect them right now? We can just maybe hunt animals, and we can also use the scientific techniques to keep their life. But this way, this would be not so natural for human beings to get along with the nature. 这地方只是一个另外一个讲法，就是说，如果今天科学的技术有到那么好的话，那我们就不用努力啦。But that this way, this would be kind of weird. Yeah, think about it, right? Because the first argument would be that if we could bring animals back from extinction, then how could they really survive on the earth if the environment has become so different from the one they used to live in like a long time ago? This would be the first argument. But the second argument would be from other people's point of view. They argue that if we let people know, oh, now we could bring animals which disappeared a long time ago back to Earth again, then maybe the public, the people in our society, they wouldn't think it serious enough for them to protect the wildlife. 等于说，第一个论点是说，如果让他们再复活的话，他们不一定可以活啊。第二个是，如果我们现在让大家知道说我们可以这样做的话，也许现在的大家就不会这么努力去保育那些野生动物。So this would be another logic. I mean, those people try to remind us. It's okay, yeah. So like here for reverse our mistakes. When you say reverse, you just mean turn things around, 把东西反转过来。So like here, when you say you reverse your mistakes, you try to sort of correct and make things right again. So like here, 这个叫另外一个字 ，U 开头的。如果你说消弭，或是你把Yes, yeah. So like, but here if you mean 把事情再回复到以前的状况，那个 U 开头的就是 undo。这个地方如果你说有什么东西如果可以的话，我想要弥补我的过错。If it's possible, I would like to undo my mistakes. 所以这边的 undo 有点像是 you try to do something and you try to make things normal again. So like if you say we can just reverse our mistakes， 就只是说如果我们现在可以这样做的话，那些被灭绝的动物可以再带回来的话，那我们就不会那么在意野生动物的重要性。Like that. Okay. So here, could you please read the part once again? However, others consider it inappropriate to bring species back, since this weakens the support for traditional conservation. Why do we have to preserve a wildlife habitat or fight poachers? If we know, we can just reverse our mistakes. Yeah, thank you. So the very last part, could you please read it as technology? Develops. Extinction now may no longer be something that lasts forever, but whether it is right to make extinct species return is still a matter for debate. In order to avoid possible disasters of reviving extinct species, we would do well to remember the lesson of Jurassic Park. Proceed with caution, leave the velociraptors alone. Yeah, velociraptors will be the key characters every time in all the Jurassic Park movies. Velociraptors, this kind of dinosaur, 每次都是电影的主角。有看出Rex 暴龙是另外一种，但是在里面，yes, you're right. This is velociraptor. Okay, yeah. You know why I'm showing? You know why I'm showing the picture of this dinosaur? I don't know why you are wearing the eye patches. Yeah. Have you been wearing that for the whole day? Okay. Yeah. Is that your new accessory? 最新流行的配件吗 Yeah. So like, should we all wear one of that kind of thing? And here, velociraptors. This would be the look of the velociraptors in the movie The Jurassic Park. And this would be the Chinese translation. Yeah, you know why? Velociraptors always play a key role in the Jurassic Park movies. The reason is because this. The scientists pointed out that they possibly were comparatively smart than the other dinosaurs because the size of their brain, the scientists said, was comparatively, 相较来说, or bigger than that of other dinosaurs. So like here in every Jurassic Park movie, like every time it was the velociraptors that did something to change the environment that human beings had created. 每次都是他们做一些奇怪的事情 because they were thought to be smarter than other dinosaurs. Yeah, it's okay. So here, this would be the last sentence. We would do well to remember the lesson of Jurassic Park, proceed with caution and leave the velociraptors alone. You know why? When you say you leave someone alone, you mean not bother that person or that thing. 但这个地方为什么要这样说呢？ Because this is a figurative speech, 是一个 example. Because when we are trying to do everything to change or to undo the harm we human beings did to the earth, maybe sometimes there could be unimaginable results that could happen if we keep doing things to change the environment. In a way, that is not how the nature really goes. Yeah, so the last sentence will be used as an example to show us that we have to be careful all the time. It's okay. So here the first part of this passage. When you say as technology develops, 这个地方的 as 怎么解释比较好呢？wait. as 要怎么解释比较好呢 ？as 另外一个字如果 W 开头的话，可以解释成随着，对，随着。when W-H-E-N when technology develops as 的其中一个意思呢，就是随着状况怎么样。所以你说 as，
他都一直讲说2次。
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. As the weather gets colder, we have as the weather gets more changeable, we need to pay attention to our health. 就是天气变得越冷的时候，要注意健康。随着怎么样 ？Yeah. So like here, when you say we may no longer be something that lasts forever, when you say may no longer, 如果 not 到前面的话，后面两个想法可以复习一下吗 ？Betty, may not. 知道 Betty 是谁？玉芳刚才说 Betty 是谁？ Who is Betty? Betty 是那个新贝啊。那新贝是。哇。I know who they are. Lian looks so angry. Words any longer. Yeah. So you can say once you enter your parents might tell you this when you enter high school. After you enter high school, you are not a little girl anymore. So you need to be. What? You need to take responsibility for what you do from now on. So you are not a kid anymore, any longer. So like no longer, not any longer, not anymore. It's okay. So like here, something lasts forever. 这地方的 last 当动词哦，指的是 continue to exist. 所以你说那个会议持续了1个小时的 meeting lasted 规则变化 lasted 1 hour. So when you say something lasts and then how long, you mean like something continued for how long. So if you say something lasts 1 hour, you mean something continued for 1 hour. Okay. Like here, we just lasts forever. You mean like it will never be changed. But whether it is right to make extinct species return， 这个地方为什么变色？是因为这个地方一整个当一个大的名词，等于说是否要这样做 ？It is right to make extinct species return. It's still a matter for debate. When you say something is a matter for debate, the word matter means an issue， 一个问题 ，an issue for debate. But here, did you see that? Okay, anyway, the word debate means 辩论。可这个地方的，如果你说是一个辩论的议题。可能翻起来的意思会怪怪的，所以这地方比较好讲的应该是说 ，if you say something that is a matter for debate, you mean that it is being discussed in our society. Yeah, so like here 这地方的 for debate 不是只是说要辩论的议题，而是说到目前为止到目前为止还悬而未决的话题。Yeah, 悬而未决啊。Yeah, means that something that hasn't been agreed on by the public. It's okay. For example, what kind of topic can you think of that you view as a matter for debate? Is there anything that you care about in our society that you think it is a matter for debate? For example, yeah, you can say nuclear power. Yeah, the construction of the nuclear power plant is still a matter for debate. How do you spell the term nuclear power? And nuclear, C-L-U-A-R, nuclear power. So you can say the reconstruction of the nuclear power plant is still a matter for debate. Okay, so like here we can also say, yeah, you can also say, oh, we are going to have a vote on that. But yeah, honestly, seriously, for me, I support that we shouldn't have any uniform at all. If you want to ask me about that. I would say that, like here 这地方 is still a matter for debate。这边呢，如果讲到 debate 指的是这个，可是如果讲的是有争议性的话题的话，一个 C 开头的字是 controversy。Here controversy 这个字重音在第一个音节，所以 would you please read it together? Controversy. Yeah, thank you. So like here the adjective form 这个字呢当形容词的话是 controversial。这个地方在念的时候呢。可能想要念 controversial， 因为 influential 或者是financial 都是手的音，可是这地方的 influential 是 T 开头 ，financial 是 C 开头，可是 controversial 要保留 S 的音，所以是 S 的音，所以念起来会有点拗口。We say about controversial. Yeah, sounds like Taiwanese controversial. Yeah, the water is very sure, so when you say controversial, it's a little weird. 反正基本上 controversial 是唯一一个在英文里面没有念手的结尾音，所以这个在念的时候会比较拗口，是正常的。Yeah, but now we still keep this pronunciation. It's okay. So here, could you please read it controversial? So you can say that the reconstruction of the nuclear power plant is still a controversial issue in our society. It's okay. So when you say it's a controversy, 一个争议的事情 a controversial matter means it is being debated and hasn't been agreed on by the public yet. It's okay. Yeah, this is it. So like here, and for the second part, in order to avoid possible disasters of reviving extinct species. 这个是 reviving 是 second 的生字，因为是 revive something, you mean you bring it back to life， 指的是使东西再复活。So like you would do well to remember the lesson of the lesson part. You say you would do well too. This is one of the key expressions. Would you please read examples together? You would do well too. Take your mom's advice. Yeah, if you say you would do well to do something, you mean it would be better for you to do that. So like here, if you can think of the expression you learned before, 最好做某事. It would be colder later today, so you had better, had better do something. So when you say you had better do something, you mean you would do well to do something. 所以这两个东西算是 similar expressions， 而且这个 would 是固定的用法哦。这边的话 ，if you say I think I would do well to bring a jacket with me because the weather might be colder later today. 所以这地方就只是最好是做某事。So like would do well to, had better to, similar expressions. It's okay. 可是这地方有一个你会不会提到？但是现在可以先拿出来提一下。If you say you may, you might, and then as well do something, then you still mean it is better for somebody to do something. But the meaning is a little bit different. If you mean there is nothing left in the refrigerator, 家里的冰箱没东西了, I think we may as well buy something on our way back home. 冰箱没东西了，我想我们只好还是买点东西在路上吃好。所以这地方的 may as well 通常是成只好怎样 ，you know what I mean? So you can say like there will be many people showing up. I would say we may as well prepare extra food so that we wouldn't have to do it when we are in the middle of the party. 所以这边的 may as well, might as well 通常会解释成就是也是解释成最好怎样，可通常解释成情况实在没什么选择，所以我们最好还是这样做比较好。But when you say would do well to and had better, you just suggest that somebody do something. 建议一件事情。所以这三个有点像，而第三个通常解释成情况就只能允许我们这样做。It's okay, yeah. And here, we would do well means we had better remember the lesson of the Jurassic part, proceed with caution. When you say caution, this means care, 谨慎. So when you say proceed with caution, you just mean this. So you can say, before you 在你交考卷之前，你最好认真的再检查一次. Before you turn in your test paper, you would do well to double check your answers with caution. So when you say you do something with caution, you do it very carefully. 所以这个当形容词的时候就是 cautious. 所以 ly cautiously can also mean with caution. 小心的做某事. It's okay. So you can also say we would do well to remember the Jurassic Park. Proceed cautiously and leave the velociraptors alone. It's okay. Yeah. 所以这地方最后就只是指说为什么要说不要去管迅猛龙，不然放这句话呢？是因为说 velociraptors they were said to be smarter and they often do something to damage humans' development in the movies. So like here it is said that we still need to be careful no matter what we are doing to change the world. Yeah, it's okay. So like this would be the point we need to know about the last paragraph. Would you please read it together as technology?
As technology develops,
Extinction now may no longer be something that lasts forever. But whether it is right to make extinct species return is still a matter for debate. In order to avoid possible disasters of reviving extinct species, we would do well to remember the lesson of Jurassic Park. Proceed with caution and leave the velociraptors alone. Yeah, this is it. So like here, before we move on, I guess because you are in the science group, I would say there is a video produced by National Geographic that you can sort of pay more attention to. In this video, there will be many scientists posing questions about this latest technology of reviving extinct species. And they propose a lot of technical questions and moral questions. So maybe if you are interested in biology, you can think about these questions they are going to ask later in the video.
Are we playing God with the extinction? Did we play God when we drove? Are we playing God with the extinction? Did we play God when we drove most of these species to extinction?
Why should we bring the species back if there is the species?
You know, it was entirely human efforts that made it extinct.
Extinct species and endangered species are part of one continuum.
One of the important questions, of course, if you do contemplate in a project like this, a de-extinction project, bringing an animal like that back, what are you going to do with it?
That's actually one of the more difficult questions because, why do you want to clone an animal? And can you clone it?
Because as we say, cloning one animal or bringing back one extinct animal, that's interesting, but that's not population.
How do we introduce genetic variation?
If we could get this animal back, the throne for that
I don't think we'll bring it back to life. Maybe that will happen one day in the future. But what we can do is learn a lot more about it by studying its genetic makeup.
If it looks like a passenger pigeon, is it a passenger pigeon? If it behaves like one, is it a passenger pigeon? Or does it have to be an exact duplicate of the genome?
And the first goal we would have is say, well, let's get it back into its natural environment. Let it restore the balance in that ecosystem.
When a creature goes from rare to common, and you watch that happen, you get engaged with its sort of fight to survive. And when you see a creature go from extinct to rare to common, I think people are just going to be cheering it on the whole way.
The last speaker, you recognize him. That was Stuart Brand. That was Stuart Brand. We talked about the reading. Yeah, so like he's still alive. Okay, yeah, and he's still very active in the States. And here, before we go, there's another video. And before we move on, may I ask you, when was the last time you attended a wedding banquet? 上次去喝喜酒是什么时候? A long time ago. And or when was the last time you tasted shark fin soup? Shark fin soup. 像是上一次喝鱼翅汤是什么时候 ？Shark fin soup. Shark fin soup. 鱼翅汤就是鲨鱼的鳍，所以在英文里面就是 shark fin soup. Yeah. And here, the next video is produced by Discovery. And if you didn't know that, sharks are now in danger of extinction. Sharks. You might think sharks are everywhere, but actually sharks, no. They are on the verge of totally disappearing from the earth. Yeah. So
biodiversity is really how we define our own existence, isn't it? It's us and, say, tens of millions of other species that occupy this planet with us. Biodiversity is really how we define our own existence, isn't it? It's us and, say, tens of millions of other species that occupy this planet with us.
It's like there's this incredible web where we're all connected. And we start to lose these independent species. The environment starts to fail.
When we translate human activity into these forces of extinction, there are several major factors that are contributing.
One of the major drivers of extinction is that we hunt some species to oblivion. It's what we do with sharks now.
这些都是鱼鳍哦，看得出来。
With the explosion of demand for shark fin soup, global estimates for the shark fin trade put it in the neighborhood of $1 billion. That's a huge amount of money. So sharks are targeted by fleets around the world.
And they simply cut the fins off and then release them to a slow and very unpleasant death.
All the sharks or the bodies back? Cut the fin? We don't actually know how many sharks are in the ocean. What we do know is that the big sharks, the apex predator in the open ocean food chain, their numbers have declined between 90 and 99%.
Sharks have survived 4 mass extinctions. They've been around the planet longer than dinosaurs. A lot longer.
Sharks have ruled the oceans for over 400 million years. They've been responsible for regulating and maintaining the entire balance across our oceans. Now we're in a situation where sharks are being removed from that system.
Humans are really the single most impactful species this planet has ever seen.
We have these prehistoric brains and we have this godlike technology, and when we bring them together, the result is not necessarily a happy one.
You know, species are like a house of cards. You can't just sort of take one card out of the deck and not expect the deck to crumble.
This title is the show, or I would say it's a mini movie produced by the Discovery Channel, and this would be the sentence. Yeah, right. This would be the sentence that I would like to use to end the discussion of Unit 11. So like here, maybe now. 这个地方呢，可能现在有时候大家每次讲啊，就是说什么环境被污染啊，野生动物被保育啊。But I would say that maybe if we can keep an idea in mind, this would be that it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. I mean, maybe starting from ourselves, like if we get to eat the shark's fin soup, we can refuse to buy it. And if we can do something to take care of the wildlife instead of like complaining about those big countries, those companies, like hunting the animals, like providing the food, we can start from ourselves. Stop doing something to harm the environment. Yeah, maybe this is it. So here, could you please read the sentence together? It's better to light a candle than to crush the darkness. Yeah, you can use the expression to talk about many situations. So like here for Unit 11, you can think that starting from your own, do something to change the world. Yeah, this is it. All right, let's take a break. Thank you. Let's take care. Yeah.